You know, it's the old movie line, show me the money. I'm more of a show me the evidence. If you're going to tell me you're great, I got to see you're great. Stats, Super Bowls, rings. Aaron Rodgers is now 1-9 in his last 10 road games. I know, it's not his fault. It never is. It's his defense. Oh, wait, they're third in the NFL in sacks. It's his running game. He doesn't have one. No, actually, Aaron Jones is dynamic, averaging over 6 yards a carry. Mike McCarthy's a buffoon. Really? He resurrected Brett Favre's career? Come on now. Show me the evidence. You got to give me something. Stats? No, Breeze has those. Trophies? No, Tom has those. You got to show me something. You got to show me some evidence. You've been telling me, all you media guys and all you fans for a decade have been telling me, oh, he's got a great arm, great arm, great arm. All right, so did Jeff George. I mean, a million guys have a great arm. It's the NFL. Joe Flacco's got a great arm. Show me the evidence. Ask yourself this. Is that, you know how they write those business books on what it takes to be a great leader and a great CEO? You can go to a library, go to Amazon.com, look up business books. There's a million of them. I've read a handful in my life. Here's the qualities they never say make a great leader. Aloof, condescending, arrogant, difficult to work with. Those are not qualities of Aaron Rodgers. Those are now his brand. If I say to you, Hall of Fame quarterback, condescending, you think Aaron Rodgers. Hall of Fame quarterback, aloof, hard to play, you think Aaron Rodgers. It's like saying Joe Flacco's inaccurate. That's his brand. That's not a quality. That's who he is. Jay Cutler, moody. That's not a quality. That's his brand. Tom Brady, driven, passionate. Not a quality. That's his brand. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, you notice this with Green Bay? The longer he's there, the uglier it gets. Because people that are difficult to work with, you can tolerate them for a year, deal with them for 2, appease them, placate them for 4. But after about 9, you want to strangle them. But Colin, you're picking on Aaron Rodgers. Why the hell would I do that? Do I pick on LeBron? Do I pick on Steph Curry? Do I pick on Roger Federer? Do I pick on Serena? When have I ever picked on the great? Do I pick on the Warriors? Do I pick on Tom Brady? Do I pick on Russell Wilson? Do I pick on Andrew Luck? Do I pick on Drew Brees? Who do I pick? I picked on Tebow because he wasn't very good. I pick on Westbrook. Great, but hard to play with. And yes, I pick on Aaron Rodgers. No, I don't. I'm honest. And you're all coming around now. I used to get a lot of pushback on this. I used to get nothing but hate mail. You don't know what you're talking about. You know what I get now? Silence. And that's what I know I'm right. Because fans are not going to admit they're wrong. I get that. That's okay. It's part of the deal. I have to. You call me out. I have a right-wrong segment 50 minutes from now. But when fans disappear, that's when you're right. The Westbrook fans, they don't push back. They just disappeared. The Aaron Rodgers fans, they don't push back. They just disappeared. I don't hear from them anymore. I mean, again, I'm not saying it's all Aaron's fault. But he can't take a little blame? He's not a little rough to work with? I have 4 former Packers I know all said the same thing. Favre, McCarthy got along great. Aaron McCarthy, major fissures. 1-9, last 10 on the road. And here's another thing that again, I'm not a big believer in just stats, because I think we all know Aaron can play. I'm not saying it's all his fault. But you got to say some of it's his fault. I mean, nobody else is this bad on the road. Breeze isn't. Matt Ryan's not. Brady's not. Russell Wilson's not. They're not struggling like this. They don't all have good coaches, right? They don't all have legends. They don't have Hall of Famers. They don't all have running games. They're not losing road quarterbacks. But here's a stat. Show me the money. Show me the evidence. So Breeze has the stats. Tom has the trophies. Aaron Rodgers is now 0-37 after last night's loss to the Vikings. He is now 0-37 when he enters the fourth quarter of any game trailing by more than a point, and the team he's playing at that moment has a winning record. Now think about that. Aaron Rodgers has never won a game, 0-37, when he enters the fourth quarter trailing by more than 1 point against the team in that moment. Now that may not be a great team. Many of them aren't. But in that moment, they have a winning record. Come on now. Come on now. The things I criticize him for are fair. My critics have gone quiet, and that's when I know I'm right. And nobody's saying he won't have another 5 years get the perfect coach for him. But what has made Big Ben, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, John Elway, what has made them great is overcoming. John Elway for years got to Super Bowls with no running game. Brady for years has gotten to Super Bowls without dynamic playmakers. Brees has gotten to the playoffs and a Super Bowl without a dominating defense. Peyton Manning only had one great defense until he got to Denver. You keep telling me Aaron's the best, but the best don't need a perfect football team to win on the road. The best, like Andrew Luck, overcome deficiencies to get to the playoffs, overcome average defenses, so-so running games. You keep telling me, well, he needs the right coach. I'm not saying he and McCarthy are a good mix. But does he need Sean McVay? Does he need the perfect running game and the perfect defense and the perfect coach and the perfect schedule? Because the greats don't. The greats overcome. LeBron gets to finals without an all-star. Kevin Durant, you look at the all-time greats, very rarely do they have the perfect football team. They overcome all sorts of deficiencies to get you there. That's all I'm saying. Show me the money, show me the evidence. Aaron Rodgers should be in the greatest of all time conversation. Let me shift gears to the Steelers. So everybody's going to beat up on Big Ben today. I get it. Terrible interception late. I get it. Today, this morning, every sports radio host, man, woman's going to crush him. I would like to point out that James Conner, red zone fumbled the ball when there was nobody around him. And at the end of the first half, a tight end fumbled the ball out of the red zone and they lost possession. Those weren't Ben's fault, right? But here's the number I want you to look at, not the score. Not the score. Here's what I want you to look at. Big Ben was 41 of 56 passing. And I want you to think about 56 pass attempts. 56 pass attempts. He leads the NFL in pass attempts this year. And that's on a good team that generally doesn't trail games late and have to pass, with a good team with a legitimate running game that could run the ball. The Pittsburgh Steelers allowed him yesterday to throw the ball 56 times. Why is that a big deal? Here's why it's a big deal. You parents out there, you can brag about your kids' grades. Oh, little Johnny got an A+. Little Susie's a perfect student. All you parents out there, you can brag about your kids' sports accomplishments. He hit a home run. She scored a goal. But you know when you got good kids? When you can leave for the weekend and trust them. There's alcohol in the house. The key to the BMW's there. And the parents can go, we're going camping for 4 days. Make sure you take care of your brothers and sisters. Then you got a good kid. You can trust them. The Pittsburgh Steelers, with a running game, said, Ben, we're leaving for the weekend. Throw it 56 times. Lamar Jackson's really good. Last 2 games, media falls in love with him. He has 44 attempts in 2 games. They're babysitting him. Baker Mayfield's amazing. Last 2 games combined, 46 attempts. They're babysitting him. Those teams are telling you what they think of Lamar and Baker. They like him. They got talent. But when those parents leave, they call the nanny, they call a babysitter, they make sure there's eyes on the quarterback. Not Big Ben. That family's going to Europe for 8 days. There's alcohol all over the house, keys to the car. And they're like, we trust you. Watch your brother and sister. We're going to France. We'll be back in 8 days. When you allow a quarterback in Denver, good defense, 2 great pass rushers on the road, throw it 56 times. That is incredible respect by an organization. They're just saying, listen, man, we don't tell Ben not to do this and not to do that. We don't tell Ben, stay away from here, only throw here. Mitch Trubisky, everybody loves Mitch Trubisky. He's 22nd in pass attempts. What's that telling you? 22nd in pass attempts? That's telling you even with good running backs, even with Matt Nagy, the Bears are telling you there are certain times we're not going to let him throw it, and there are certain places we're not going to let him throw it. So I'm not saying Big Ben didn't have a really, really terrible throw. And I'm not going to defend that throw. But, man, never forget when RG3 beat Andrew Luck for Rookie of the Year. I pushed back and I said, RG3's throwing it 18 times a game. Luck's throwing it 40. The Colts were telling you what they thought of their rookie quarterback. And so was Washington. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.